January 2nd, 2015. Guys, this video is important for a couple of different reasons. We're going to go through those. But the last video I did about Stargate, you can check it out. If you didn't see it, you kind of need to watch it because it's got information, and this is part 2 of that. It puts it all together. But I'm going to go back over some of it. Now, you're looking at a computer simulation of the Earth's magnetic field. In the top, you see the blue lines. Those are coming in, and all of these go through the Earth, guys. Yellow lines come out. That's the direction that the magnetic fields are flowing. Now, in the center, do you see how all the magnetic lines do not just funnel straight through and channel? Again, you're coming in with the blue lines at the top, comes out yellow lines at the bottom. But you see how they actually, like spaghetti, weave through the entire Earth's core, from surface areas all the way to the inside. Now, CERN is underground. They are desperately trying to create something. It's like mad scientists when you're watching an old Frankenstein movie, guys. These guys are out of control. Someone needs to be alerted of the full consequences. The scientists there know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show you the data on the dates when they started firing up these test runs. And the exact moment they did is when our magnetopoles went haywire, and it's been there ever since. On the exact date I'm going to show you. Now, I also want to go through how important this magnetic shield that you're looking at around our planet is. Guys, you know that Mars, some event happened on Mars that wiped out their magnetic field. Ancient scripts and texts tell us that it was a close passing of a comet or planet or something that caused this magnetic field elimination. Now, when you eliminate the magnetic field, you not only drop your shields, you allow it to strip away our atmosphere. The further it dips in and cuts and dives towards Earth, you're losing in these big plasma bubbles, and you can see that on some of the instruments. When the atmosphere is stripped completely back in huge bubbles as large as our planet. So we're dealing with shields down, shields damaged. We're dealing with atmospheric loss, especially upper atmosphere, and it also protects you on this planet from ultraviolet X-ray radiation and other type of solar and galactic, like proton burst, everything, guys. It's a protective shield. All of that's currently being allowed to enter our magnetopoles. It is damaging it. And again, the scientists know what I'm talking about. If they don't, again, they're so departmentalized that it's on a need-to-know basis. But guys, if you take time to study this, you'll see what I'm saying. But what my concern is, maybe some of the world leaders have been told one aspect of CERN and not the full implication. So maybe this video will get to someone that can make a phone call. But really, the elite have a plan, and this has to be part of it because it's a world project. The people that work there are fully protected, no income taxes, huge salaries. But guys, let's take a look at something else. Now, I will link this information, but it's Wikipedia, and you can go into, just type in Earth's magnetic field, and the more you read, the more that you will understand my concern about this. I'm going to read part of it. If I don't, pause this and read it, guys. But it says, Earth's magnetic field serves to deflect most of the solar wind, whose charged particles would otherwise strip away the ozone layer that protects the Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiation. One stripping mechanism is for gas to be caught in bubbles of a magnetic field, which are ripped off by solar winds. Calculations of the loss of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere of Mars, resulting from scavenging of ions by the solar wind, indicate that the dissipation of the magnetic field of Mars caused a total or near total loss of its atmosphere. Now, this article goes into paleomagnetisms and some things like that. I'm not going to read that entire section, but it basically tells you where we've had magnetic pole flips, and they've been able to record it in the direction of lava flow and how the metals and magnetic particles inside that lava were pointed north or south at that particular time. In one case, 6 degrees in one day. But what? Not only that, all of the animals on Earth use these magnetic poles for migration, things like that. Think about that. So you're disrupting a lot. So with starting December 12th, when we were starting to see these wild fluctuations with our magnetopoles, something was up. Everyone was looking in every different direction. But on that day is when they started doing the test firing on some of the sections at CERN. Now, one other thing. This info was in part 1 of the STARGATE video, but just to kind of go over it before we go to the actual magnetopoles, let's look at what we're talking about. On the right, you have, you can again pause this, but it's numbered and it gives a description below the diagram here, guys. But it starts just like the bow or the bow wake of a boat out front with number 1, and that's your bow shock. That's the resistance build back from the solar stream. Now, number 2 at the top, inside that gray area, is your magnetosheath. Then 3, you can see magnetopoles, then magnetosphere. Now, number 3 is what we're going to look at. This is the purple area. This is really where we're getting into serious protection. Now, 5 is the northern tail lobe, 6 is the southern tail lobe, and here, next to Earth, this is very important. Remember the plasma bubbles that if they're allowed to escape and be stripped away, we will lose our atmosphere. That's called the plasmasphere. All this section here, see, both sides. Now, this is kind of what it would look like on a normal day. But it says the Earth's magnetic field, predominantly dipolar at its surface, is distorted further out by the solar wind. This is a stream of charged particles leaving the sun's corona and accelerating to a speed of 200 to 1,000 kilometers per second. We've seen that go up with coronal mass ejections, solar flares. They carry with them a magnetic field called the Interplanetary Magnetic Field, or IMF. We've seen that. The solar wind exerts a pressure, and if it could reach Earth's atmosphere, it would erode it. You listening? However, it is kept away by the pressure of the Earth's magnetic field, the magnetopoles. This area where the pressure balances is the boundary of the magnetosphere. Despite its name, the magnetosphere is asymmetric, with the sunward side being about 10 Earth radii. That's to the left of this image, guys. That's the sunward side. That's when we have the bow shock. But the other side stretching out in a magnetotail that extends beyond 200 Earth radii. That's how much pressure we're getting from the sun. Think about that. And think about our shields being cut in half and in pieces like they're shredding them right now. It says the sunward of the magnetopoles is the bow shock, the area where the solar winds slow abruptly. The sun is doing 2 things. It generates the magnetic field by the solar wind spinning over. If the solar stream stopped, the Earth would stop rotating. The engine, the dynamo, would stop. It's important that there's a balance here. Now let's go to the data. Now, guys, in this diagram on the left is the magnetopoles. Notice the timestamp, 12/11. Fairly normal day. You can see your outer shock. Now the sun stream is coming from the right. That's why that center dot, which represents the size of the Earth, is white on that side. It's sun-facing side. Now on the 12th, notice this. I'm going to change. You can go in and change your timestamps. Now, at the time of this particular section of this video, they had not updated past Christmas Eve, December 24th. Now look at the 12th. Look at this. This is when I started noticing the disruption. To the right, CERN teams are carrying out all required tests to get proton beams back in the LHC for March 2015. Notice down below that, magnets in one sector of the accelerator are fully prepared to restart at high energies. December 17th, and this is continuing on our magnetopoles, the CERN cryogenics team are filling the LLC with liquid helium cooling entire sections to below 4K. Guys, that's about 452 degrees below zero. They are underground. They're tied into these magnetic fields. Look now, and this has been going on. I went from the 12th and the timestamp top left to the 24th, the last day that they've updated. Normally this is daily. Maybe they're on vacation. Don't know. Maybe they were told to turn it off. Too many people were watching. But again, guys, this is important. Could change everything. They're talking about dimensional portals opening, smashing matter with antimatter, which annihilates one another. They're talking about destroying our outer shields of our planet, disrupting life here. We talked about the navigation of animals. Guys, the weather's crazy. I hope someone at a higher level gets to see this video that has some concern about what's going on. Because if they're allowed to go to full power, there's no telling what we're going to see, guys. Look at the test runs, what it's doing to disrupt our magnetopoles. It's incredible. It's a heads up, guys. I'm going to keep watching as they get this thing ready and cranked up, and we're going to watch all the instruments. You can also, if you look on our website, go to the ISWA link. You can see some of the plasma balls being ripped off the back side in one of these charts. Heads up, be safe.